It has truly been my honor and privilege to serve as your AMA Alliance president this year. By now, most of you know my background and history, from escaping communist rule, being born in Saigon, we're smuggled out in vegetable baskets through the jungles. We started all over in France, and then started all over again from scratch when we moved to America. Coming to America in 1981 and having all the opportunities that we were afforded, I have to say that my family is truly the epitome of the American dream. And this is what drove me and drives me to give back to my community. But there's another part of my childhood that I didn't really share. When I came to America, no one in my family spoke English. We didn't know anybody here. We didn't know the norms. We didn't know the culture. I struggled in the early years of my life, actually all through high school, to fit in and to find my place in this world. I've always known what it's like to feel like an outsider. To feel like I looked different or thought differently. And honestly, not much was handed to me, including my leadership roles in the Alliance. But that background made me persevere. All right, come on, let's get it together. As I did more, as I took on more leadership roles, as I hit each goal I set for myself, and along the course of the way, as I missed many, many goals also that I set for myself, I've had a lot of confidence in my abilities. Not that I know everything, because that is far from reality, but I found the confidence in myself that I could figure it out. And if the goal was to figure it out, then it was not hard at all for me to ask questions and ask for help. I think that's been the thing that's made me the leader I am today. If you start from the point of accepting that you don't know it, it creates the desire for you to learn it. During my inauguration, I shared with you that my goal was never to just be president. My philosophy on any leadership roles that I have undertaken is that it's not the title, but it's the fact that I think I have a unique skill set that may benefit the role at that moment in time. What I saw as a need in the AMA Alliance that prompted me to want to take on this position was the enormous opportunity for growth in our organization. How unique are we? The only organization that can represent the physician family nationwide. We are also uniquely positioned because we have a long history and a strong partnership with the AMA. We as an organization have every resource available to us, but sometimes we did not position ourselves in a way to best use those resources or opportunities. So when I started this presidency, the first thing I wanted to do was re-energize our organization. To do so is not just recruitment of talent, it is strategic building of leadership tracks. That is why I'm so excited to chair nominating next year. A new influx of passionate leaders surely is helpful, but it also has to be the right leaders for that moment in time. I wanted to remind our organization that we're not just looking for warm bodies. You felt it after Dr. Lloyd's presentation. What we do as an organization is just too important. What we at the AMA Alliance are looking for is stellar talent. I believe that if we set the bar high, we attract talent that will not only meet that bar, but exceed our expectations. And so that's what I did this year. I set the bar high, and each and every one of you who served with me exceeded my expectations. Thank you. Along with that, it was my goal to make sure that all our members felt appreciated, that there were no barriers to participation, either in member engagement or leadership advancement. This is not a clique. This is not a club. This is not a sorority. This is a professional, nonprofit corporation with a very important mission that cannot be swayed by differences in personalities. So this year was about creating an organizational culture that was transparent, diplomatic, professional, strategic, and forward-thinking. We first started our year embracing yes, and Kendra and Beverly sort of talked about this. If a council had an idea, what could we do to support that? If a board member felt a protocol was cumbersome, what could we do to streamline that? If a member had a need, what could we do to create a resource? I hope that this continues. Because after working with our amazing members for over a decade, I can tell you that most are a lot smarter than me. So our job as leaders is not to come up with the ideas, it's not to micromanage, it is to be open to those ideas, to see how they fit into our strategic plan and provide them with the resources they need to succeed, and then we just need to get out of their way. Speaking of the strategic plan, the process started over a year ago. When we received the initial draft, it focused more on a list of tasks and work to charge forward. What I wanted to do was actually take a few steps back and challenge some of the key assumptions before creating a plan of work. The reality is this: our organization is 90% volunteer-based. We rely on volunteer hours to do the bulk of our programming, outreach, etc. In many instances, we have let our volunteer positions become equivalent to full-time jobs. This cannot be how we operate. It is a surefire way to burn out our leadership and have our board and leaders get bogged down in the minutia of doing versus strategic leading. So a big focus this year has been to offload many of the tasks that migrated to volunteers and house them in our management company. We will create protocols and efficiencies and continuity and ease the burden on our volunteers. And while we want to do everything, we simply do not have the bandwidth to do everything at once. So we're focusing first on rebuilding resources for states and counties. Now, this does not mean that our members at large, or now our national members, will be ignored. We'll still provide all the great programming and resources to each of our members equally. What it means, though, is that the effort it takes for me to bring on one new member is not much different than the effort it takes for me to bring on an entire county or state. So that has been decided as our focus for our first pathway of growth. So again, our approach to the year is what can we do to help them succeed? They have the ideas. I've had the honor of visiting so many states and counties this year. Many of you reach out to me worried that I'm exhausted, worried about the time it took away from my family. But these trips were mentally energizing. So what can we as National do to help them succeed? The glaring areas were the onboarding and the leadership training. Helping create a pipeline for future leadership is critical. Some states and counties are struggling. Some states and counties feel overwhelmed. I've been there. Does that count? In my own county, we were at a place where we thought we would fold. Recycling leadership, repeating the same programs the same ways, allowing petty differences to overtake the mission. In just a year, Bonnie and I made a radical change and actually created a 5-year leadership pipeline. Karen and I then built upon that year and cemented the new ideas into protocol. So we know that turnaround is possible. They considered reducing dues or separating from national. We held strong. For us in Clark County, removing unified dues was a non-starter. I've seen states and counties trying to reduce dues and making AMAA payment non-unified, thinking that removing the $65 from the dues was going to be the thing that would help more people join. It does the opposite. In fact, it tells them that you're taking away value. In very few instances is the monetary cost of membership in the AMAA the barrier. By tying your county and state to national, you open up for your members all that we offer. While some states and counties are still finding their footing with programs they offer their membership, look at what we have built this year at the AMAA. This year we built value in a definitive way. We created board bootcamp, Confluence, the annual meeting. We talk all the time about member value propositions. How do you put a price tag on AMAA membership? It's been elusive. But the solution is actually really simple. You just put a price tag on it. That's why those commercials like for ShamWow and so on are so easy, right? It's like $79.99 or $9.99. So what you have to do is you have to tell people the deal that they're getting. So we priced Board Bootcamp at $79. We priced Confluence 2.0 at $59. And both of those prices alone was a bargain considering the caliber of speakers that we brought. The message was simple. You can pay $140 for just those 2 programs, or you can pay $65 and it's free for members. Plus, you get all the benefits of membership as well. The all-member calls, book club, speakers bureau, physician family magazine, and so much more. When you say it like that, I think we should double membership. So all of this was done to create value. If you affiliate your county or your state alliance with the AMAA, then you just built that value into your organization as well. What we built this year was turnkey. You could literally take our programs, then turn it around, offer it to your own members as benefits. I wanted to lift up our states and counties, and then their successes would be our successes. I wanted to be the Oprah of alliances and create so many resources and just give it away because a rising tide lifts all boats. Why is the focus on states and counties? Again, it's what I discussed. It's the ROI. What's the ROI? As an organization, we have a higher ROI if I can have a state or county adopt unified dues rather than go out and bring a member in one by one. Again, that does not mean that we're ignoring the individual. That's what Confluence 2.0 did. Confluence 2.0 was about building that individual skill. That's also why we relaunched the Sotil Project Survey. We wanted to put our finger on the pulse of what was important to the individual family today. Like Kendra and Beverly said, the goal of this survey was twofold. First, it's marketing and membership. That was our big push. But secondly, this survey informs us about the pipeline of programs that we want to create. We didn't want to get stuck in a cycle where we created programs that we thought they needed. We wanted to create the programs that they tell us they needed. So that's the crux of the strategic plan takeaway. I'm grateful to Rachel Kunish for giving me the opportunity to head up the task force to tighten up the strategic plan because I'd like to follow through. Then we'll be able to have the incoming board create the plan of work for year 2. So what else have we done this year? Is my time, don't give me that timeout thing.
17:52, you said that.
Okay, so what else have we done this year? I'm not gonna go through it. Actually, please look at my report. I think I wrote a 10-page president's report with an update in all the major areas. It is my job to inform you. I also included a full page of recommendations of my vision and ideas for the future for this organization. We had an ambitious agenda by itself, but we also had a lot added on our plates. A few things that we overcame. One, we hired a brand new management company within the first weeks of my presidency. What usually is a 6-month transition and onboard process, we did in 1. Secondly, we had no annual meeting in place. We were told it was a new city, a new date, but we had no venue, no team in place. What this team accomplished to put this meeting on was Herculean. And honestly, I think they hit it out of the park. We took on a strategic plan, and I think we succeeded in pivoting the alliance and putting it on a path for greater growth and success while also working to uplift our states and counties too. The bottom line is this: we've accomplished a lot, and I know the great work will continue under Rachel's excellent leadership. I'm proud of what we've done this year. Our 3-part membership campaign series, thank you, Ron, the Physician Family Experience Survey, organizational training with Board Boot Camp, individual training with Confluence 2.0, promoting organizational cultures of inclusivity, transparency, and professionalism. We're proud of the work that we did on the back end that nobody sees. Our database cleanup, our relook at protocols, our switch to cloud-based work, our reorganization and inventory of organizational documents. We're proud of our elevation of our brand aesthetic. Thank you. Through social media, meeting graphics, mailers, etc. And we also upgraded our technology platforms. And by taking all of that together, we were finally able to reverse our trend of membership loss. Much of that was because of COVID, but the reality is our membership was on a steady decline even before the pandemic. We started tracking membership in our new system in 2020. In 2020, after COVID, we saw a 23% drop in membership. The 2 years that followed each saw an additional drop of 3 to 4% each year. This year, not only have we stopped the drop in membership, we reversed it with a 5% gain. But the more exciting thing is this. From the Physician Family Experience Survey, you heard we had over 450 new and unique users who hadn't heard about us, but who are interested in joining us. That's the exciting part. That's our future. To convert them would be a 50-60% gain, which is massive. So that's what we need to do. We need to build this organization for the next generation. So here's my membership tangent. Membership in alliances across the board is down. So I ask all the time, why is that? Has medicine gotten so much better that we don't need the alliances? We know that's not true. In fact, the opposite is true. Alliances are needed now more than ever. In the past years, while membership numbers in alliances have declined, numbers in private Facebook groups have exploded, like Lives of Doctors' Wives or Bone Doc Wives or all of the other ones out there. Physician spouses and families are reaching out. They need support. It's been suggested then, maybe that's the wave of our future. Maybe we should go digital. But that is not the cure we need. Dr. Sotil referenced this today. When asked what was the most pressing health crisis facing America today, Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy replied, loneliness. Renowned author Sam Finones, at the end of his pivotal book, Dreamland, also named isolation as a key factor to the opioid epidemic. So look at us in this room. Alliances are critical. You cannot fully support physician families from behind a computer screen or a phone. I'm making note of the things that you like because I'm going to build that into my speech next week for the House of Delegates. Look, the Alliance can provide something that no online forum can. It can provide weekends like this, where we can come together, exchange ideas, connect, be bound by friendship, mission, and a shared dedication to supporting the physician family. Membership growth will not be overnight, but we need to focus not on just the growth number, but on what we need to build to earn that growth. And I mean that. We need to earn the growth. And then the growth will come, right? If you build it, they will come. I've been asked all weekend long what I'm going to do after my presidency. I've been told that there's somewhat of a letdown after the term. But I come back to one of my favorite quotes that I share in every one of my speeches. The quote is, be the kind of leader people would follow even if you have no position or title. I hope that I've been that kind of. I could go on endlessly about what I see as the potential future of our alliance, but the more important message I have for you is this. The success of my presidency is not tied to a 12-month period. AMAA just celebrated 100 years. In the whole scheme of things, my 1 year of presidency is insignificant. The important contribution I hope I made is to be a link to the successes of all the presidencies before me and to add to the AMA's foundation of success to help Rachel and Pat in all the presidencies to come. Okay, now the fun part. Do we have my slide up? Okay. I thought I was smart and I thought I did all the personal stuff at the end so I wouldn't cry because at the inauguration I ugly cried in the beginning for 3 minutes. And I'm still not great. Okay, so first I need to again thank this incredible team. Amanda Barron, Barb Savage, Joe Terry, Mary Beth Ellison. Honestly, it has not only been amazing working with you, but it has been fun and a pleasure. Thank you. our vision of a new way of doing the annual meeting and made it a reality. Your talents and love of the AMA Alliance and its members have made this weekend feel truly memorable. Last year at the Nevada Party, we introduced the idea of a service project during the state celebration, and I'm very excited that North Carolina will continue the tradition. I do think we were trailblazers, and I hope that this is a tradition that does not go away. At the Nevada Party, I felt this authenticity in the room. I felt warmth and friendship and purpose, and you, as the annual meeting team, have managed to recreate that feeling for me this entire conference, so I'm grateful. To my awesome board, you all have just been an honor to work with. You supported me, dreamed big with me. You started from a place of yes, and I think together we made a difference. I cannot express enough how indebted to you I am, and I thank you not only for your stellar work, but also for your friendship as well. I'm so proud when I look back on our year of programming. I think we were busy, y'all. I think that we did a lot. But I was also inspired by our collaboration and partnership with the AMA, the AMAF, and AGI. It was inspirational to see people equally dedicated to their own mission, working hand in hand with us to support medicine. I've said that I hope history will look back upon me as a good president. But more importantly, I hope that each of you in this room considers me a friend. The greatest joy of this year has absolutely been the wonderful people I've met during my travels. So I calculated that I've logged about 70,000 miles of travel this year. I think that's the equivalent of like 25 trips from Vegas to New York. But it was a blast visiting with so many of you. We're a good-looking group, you all. North Carolina Centennial Celebration, South Carolina Centennial Celebration, all my people in Texas. Reagan, I told you to stand up straight. Now, for those of you who are here, it's not just the friends that I made this year. I love and cherish the friends I've made in the Alliance the last 8 years of my service. But for those of you that really know me and understand me, you know how much I love food. Some of my best moments has been when you all have fed me. So thank you. It's really been a great year. My first Alliance love goes to my county, CCMSA. My Alliance family grew to encompass my entire state. I want to give my deepest and most heartfelt thanks to my county and state. You've been my rock all these years, and it's been incredible to be on this journey with you. But this journey hasn't been without sacrifice. To my kids, this year took me away from you. There were missed birthday parties, volleyball games, dances, fall festivals. There was a lot of meetings and days when I could not have made you breakfast or dinner. You kids were amazing. And Madison, you've learned to be a great cook. People ask if doing presidency with young kids was hard. Yes, it was. But it was also my saving grace. Because after crazy days with the Alliance, I came back to these kids that grounded me and brought me so much joy and reminded me of what's important in life. They reminded me not to sweat the small stuff and concentrate on the bigger picture. I love you, Madison, Reagan, and Lincoln. And to my husband, Michael, are you awake? I told Michael that it hurt me to see an organization that I love so much struggle. I shared with him my ideas, my vision, and I wondered if I could do justice to this position. I wondered if I could make a difference. My husband Michael said to me, if anyone can, you can. Michael, your support of me in all things that I do means everything to me. Thanks for being a great husband and an awesome dad. And of course, to my husband number 2 and 3. So Karen and Bonnie, I have no idea when I started calling you my husbands, but I just now realized that it's a misnomer. You lift me up, you remind me where I need to be, you help me with doctor's appointments, kids' birthdays, day-to-day life. You remind me of important dates, and in general, you just keep my life running smoothly. I think I should be calling you my wives. Thank you, and I love you both. And to each of you, thank you for the honor of letting me serve you. Thank you for your friendship, your support, your encouragement. I have no idea how to thank people, again, who've done so much for me. No words can express my gratitude to you, but I hope that I've shown you, by my actions throughout the year, that I value each and every one of you. That you have in me a friend and a dining buddy for life. Thank you.